Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you follow high-end real estate, you already know the greater Montreal luxury market is absolutely packed with hidden nuances. So today, we're unpacking a really fascinating, highly coveted enclave together. We're talking about the West Island, and specifically, Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, or SADB for short. We're going to look at the landscape as of August 2026, breaking down the whole shebang, from the high-level geography right down to the micro details of what high-net-worth buyers are actually paying for.
Here's our game plan for today. We're starting off by looking beyond the median price, then exploring the West Island ecosystem, diving into some prestige micro-markets, dissecting the anatomy of true luxury, and finally, wrapping up with actionable strategies for sellers.
All right, part one, beyond the median price and the automated data trap.
So when evaluating high-end, completely unique properties, there's this massive trap that people constantly fall into. They rely on automated municipal statistics, which, begs a pretty crucial question. Can a municipal average truly dictate the price of prestige? I mean, think about it for a second. Can a standard statistical average possibly capture the intrinsic value of a heritage home that's been meticulously preserved for a century, or a sprawling navigable waterfront estate? No way.
To really put this into perspective, let's look at one specific number, $723,000. According to Centris data, that was the median price for a single-family home in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue back in the second quarter of 2026. Now, if you own a luxury property, relying on this automated number is literally a fatal flaw. Why? Well, because this single number lumps every single type of residence together. It completely ignores the rarity of a specific lot, a jaw-dropping view, or distinctive architecture.
The sheer contrast between that municipal average we just talked about and the actual active luxury listings is, frankly, eye-opening. We've got Angle Invokers listing a Baie d'Urfé estate for $3.6 million and a Pointe Claire waterfront property for nearly $5.5 million. And over on James Edition, West Island luxury listings are actively sitting anywhere between $2.8 and $7.5 million. This proves without a shadow of a doubt that prestige real estate is a market entirely within a market. The median? It basically means nothing here.
Moving on to part two, the West Island ecosystem and exactly why buyers pay a premium.
We really need to zoom out for a second. Why are buyers happily paying these massive premiums for this specific region of Montreal? Ultimately, it comes down to an irreplaceable lifestyle. You're surrounded by omnipresent water, with the region completely embraced by Lac Saint-Louis and Rivière des Prairies. It offers this incredibly distinct nautical lifestyle. And the nature, it's staggering. Get this, the Grand Parc del Ouest boasts 3,100 protected hectares. To put that into perspective, that is roughly 15 times the size of Mount Royal. You add in Olympic-caliber aquatic centers, historic yacht clubs like Lord Reading, and elite bilingual schools like John Abbott College and McGill's McDonald campus, and you realize pretty quickly that buyers aren't just paying for bricks and mortar. They're buying an aspiration, an exclusive ecosystem, and a highly specific way of life.
And there's another irrefutable family appeal to the region: safety. If we look at the crime rates per 1,000 inhabitants based on local police data, the contrast is night and day. The West Island's PDQ-1 sits at an incredibly low 13.83 compared to Ville-Marie at almost 46. For high-net-worth families, this isn't just a fun fact on a spreadsheet, it's the ultimate luxury: absolute peace of mind.
All right, part three, prestige, micro-markets, and their distinct personalities.
What's fascinating is that even within the West Island, neighboring postal codes cater to entirely different buyer profiles. Take Centreville, for example. This is the hidden sanctuary. It is so committed to strict privacy and vast forest domains that there literally aren't any traffic lights. Zero. Now, compare that rural hideaway to right next door in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. That's what we call the Village. It's vibrant, it's got a historic canal, beautifully preserved heritage homes, lively boardwalks, and total walkability to shops and restaurants. Basically, geography and local zoning have created two totally different prestige lifestyles right next to each other.
But if you really want to understand the market nuances, you've got to look at hidden gems like Dorval South. Most people hear Dorval and immediately think of the international airport. But actually, scratch that. If you look strictly south of Highway 20, the reality is entirely different. You'll find stunning heritage properties and peaceful, almost village-like riverfront streets on Lac Saint-Louis. It offers that incredible waterfront lifestyle, but often without the steep price tag you'd find in neighboring Beaconsfield.
Section 4. The anatomy of true luxury. What buyers actually want.
So what physical elements actually elevate a property's value out here? We have to completely redefine how we view value.
True luxury is a valuation built on location, privacy, distinctive architecture, mature landscaping, and navigable waterfronts. It is emphatically not just about square footage or room count. Two homes of the exact same size can have vastly different valuations based entirely on how they integrate with their environment, the abundance of natural light, and the quality of their historical preservation.
When we look across active listings, the premium features are crystal clear. First off, it starts with the land. Private lots shielded by mature trees or ideally navigable waterfronts with unobstructed views. Then it's about the structure itself. Buyers are hunting for distinctive, cohesive architecture, whether that's ultra-modern or preserved heritage, finished with high-quality stone and rich woods. But above all else, it's about the vibe inside the home. We're talking soaring ceilings and an absolute abundance of natural light. These are the specific elements that justify a multi-million-dollar price tag. Finally, Section 5, Strategies for Sellers, and our actionable playbook.
Okay, so if you hold one of these luxury assets, how do you actually position it in the current landscape? Local expert Denise Lupien hits the nail on the head with this golden rule: vendre une expérience, pas uniquement une superficie. Basically, sell an experience, not just a surface area. Your marketing cannot simply be a list of room dimensions. It must expertly narrate the lifestyle. It needs to capture the feeling of the morning light, the tranquility of the neighborhood, and the pure experience of living in that home.
Executing that vision requires a pretty rigorous 6-step journey. And it doesn't start with a listing, it starts with a strategic evaluation of your home's unique worth, completely outside of those municipal medians we talked about. That evaluation informs personalized planning and professional preparation of the physical asset. Only after that's done do you move to expert-targeted marketing that tells your property's story. That sets the stage for strategic negotiation and dedicated post-transaction care. It really is a meticulously planned arc from day one.
When it comes to that preparation phase we just mentioned, the absolute key word is discernment. You've got to be incredibly strategic with your pre-listing budget. You want to focus on correcting minor irritants, enhancing that natural light, and improving the flow of the home. Please do not pour money into generic, expensive, decorative renovations. In this tier of the market, buyers have very specific, highly personalized tastes. You are rarely going to see a return on a generic luxury kitchen remodel right before selling.
And preparation isn't just about fresh paint and staging, right? It's about doing your technical homework. Out here, transparency is just as critical as the asking price. Sellers absolutely must proactively verify zoning and permits. You need to check riparian constraints if you're on the water, identify any flood zones or wetlands, confirm local tree protection bylaws, and validate your heritage status or any expansion limits. Look, gathering and sharing this complex regulatory information up front builds immense trust with a buyer. And that trust, that is the absolute foundation necessary for a durable, successful negotiation.
So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Is your luxury property being sold short by generic positioning? If you're relying on a municipal median, you might literally be leaving the true, irreplicable value of your home on the table. Think about it. Anyway, thank you for exploring the nuances of the market with us on this explainer. Keep questioning the data, and we'll catch you next time.